Welcome back to From Nothing to Completionist, the challenge where we start with a brand new World of Warcraft account and attempt to build the highest collection score possible, 1 point at a time. Last episode we crossed the 8,000 collection score mark and added a further 15 mounts. Thanks to Outland Timewalking, I've been given a huge jump start to many of my farms and I'm making the most of them. We finished episode 12 at 8,024 collection points for a gain of 690. Let's jump right back in and pick up where we left off. I got things rolling by starting on dailies like I usually do. This time it was Ogrela in Blade's Edge Mountains. And while flying around collecting Aether Rays, I saw Himathion, the last rare we needed, in Blade's Edge Mountain for the Bloody Rare achievement and the 12th overall. 8 more to try to track down. After defeating Cassandra Kaboom on the day, we got the last bit of experience needed to ding 90. Our very first on the account. By the end of the challenge, we'll have at least 10 toons at maximum level, but the first will always be special. Dagra the Fierce was the final trainer we needed to defeat the all-magic team for the Magic Battler of Kalimdor achievement. Just 2 more family achievements to go before we can give the Kalimdor trainers a rest and focus in Eastern Kingdoms. Part of the challenge of this series is tackling things one expansion at a time, and it's easy to tunnel and not look ahead. Case in point is the current fishing dailies. It has a small chance of dropping a grey item, a very unlucky rock. It vendors automatically if you hit the sell junk option, and I get lazy and often do. Thing is, it sells for 3,000 gold and it's needed as currency to buy a pet added in Shadowlands. Even after knowing all of this and recording this video, I promptly forgot to put it straight in the bank. I've vendored at least 2 now already doing this exact same thing. The lesson to myself is I need to pay better attention to ATT and research long in advance, and to stop using the sell all grey button on vendors. There is no item restoration for greys, so there is no restitution if that happens. Our daily Sekith Halls run saw us eventually hit Exalted with the lower city. 1 dungeon rep closer to the overall meta for hitting Exalted on all 5 dungeon reps in the Burning Crusade. We were 3 recipes short of being able to complete the Outland Gourmet cooking achievement. They all come from the fish or meat reward from the cooking daily. On this day I was lucky enough to get Kibler's Bits, which means that now we're just 2 short of checking off a big profession milestone. On my Tempest Keep clear for the week on max returns, Alara finally dropped his brilliant Phoenix Hawk feather, which in turn rewards the Phoenix Hawk hatchling battle pet. The luck continued as Hyastromancer Solarian dropped her Crystal of the Void, which when learned gave the Lesser Voidcaller battle pet. These raid battle pets are extra valuable for us because not only do they grant 3 collection points each, but they're part of the collection meta quest achievements. For the Raiding with Leashes achievement, we're only missing the pet from Viscodus in the content we have available. The other 3 drop from Naxxramas, which we won't unlock until we get to Wrath content at 10,000 collection points. For Raiding with Leashes 2, we're still missing 3 from Karazhan and 1 each from Serpentine Cavern and Tempest Keep. While Raiding with Leashes 3, we're short 3 from Black Temple, 1 from Hyjal, and 2 from Sunwell. For raids that we don't have rep attached to them where we need to grind Exalted, we're going to be stopping running them once we get all the pets from them and once we complete the class armor set for the achievement. Just another ball to keep juggling in the air and in mind as we prioritize which content to focus on and what to retire. Kael'thas continues to be stingy with Ashes of Alar, but on this day he helped us to reach the 250 community coupon threshold for midnight housing. The Winterspring daily for my new favorite pet had me steal some meat from the Furl Bogs and feed him. Good life lessons. I really wish the cub grew as the dailies went on and by the end was the size of a mount. But his animations are pretty adorable and honestly this is one of my favorite gameplay elements right now within my daily grind. We opened Max Spy's level account for the episode by dinging 51 with Lydia Acoste daily in Deadwind Pass. Then I wanted to check off his daily task for the day starting with Sekith Halls. And wouldn't you know, Anzu blessed us with the reins of the Raven Lord. our first major mount drop of Outland, and boy did it feel good. Overall, it took us only 18 attempts between max returns and max spy to get it to drop, which really is quite lucky, but it feels great to be able to retire the dungeon now as we've hit Exalted with Lore City and got the Raven Lord. Feeling accomplished, that's for sure. There is a feat of strength for obtaining the mount, but no achievement points. We still get the 20 collection points for the mount earned though. 1 of 4 Outland rare mount drops accounted for. Here's a good look at our new mount. The hunting practice Winter Spring Daily is by far my favorite with our new cub, and with its completion on the day we hit 6 of 20 whiskers. A Slave Pen's Timewalking run saw Spy hit 52, and then 53 on the dungeon completion. Also, more importantly, it was my first Timewalking dungeon of the week, and I got the ultra juicy swirling time warped vial, which gives 500 badges once per Timewalking week per account. As I said last video, with us needing over 100,000 badges to buy everything we need from the Timewalking vendors, grabbing these bonus badges are going to be hugely important to us when available.
Hello.
Turning in the vial also saw us sting 54. I guess the unlucky rock likes me. Twice in 2 days, the Fishing Daily did award it. I made no mistake this time and ran straight to my bank and deposited it where it can live until we hit 40,000 collection points and unlock Shadowlands. Will just be a couple minutes. As it's Burning Crusade Timewalking week, there's a special event for Illidan and Black Temple which awards a one-time chunk of badges for each character that completes it. It's a raid that has to be queued for and run with a full group, but luckily there are a lot in the custom group finder and just for Illidan only as well, rather than the entire raid, which is a giant time saver. It's a really nice nostalgia wave to be back in Black Temple, even if it's with a super scaled down LFR version. I'd flown by Razorfen Downs every day doing my Kalimdor pet dailies and having the All the Things add-on yell at me that I was missing the Goldthorn tea recipe. Today was the day I finally stopped and picked it up. There are a lot of achievements tied to the overall number of cooking recipes you know, so keeping on top of them as I go is the only way to do it and saves time in the long run. Dagra the Fierce again was a final trainer I needed for a family battler achievement. This time it was for elemental pets. Flying around Kalimdor every day for these 12 trainers has been a giant pain. But now that we have all 10 family teams created, it's going much smoother and every day I can complete one. It's not all bad though, and I really do like the sense of accomplishment from seeing the collection grow more and more with 25s of different families being added. I've done the daily for fishing and cooking in Outland since I arrived, and it's yet to offer the Manalicious quest for cooking or Bait Bandits for fishing, which is the last 2 I need to complete the respective metas. Not today either, but there's always tomorrow. I figured it was time. I'm not a huge Transmog guy, but looking at the starter gear and max returns was driving me crazy. I had won the T5 Timewalking Helm from Illidan at the earlier Black Temple raid, so I figured I'd go with a T5 Crystal Forge inspired look. I like it, for now, and it's definitely a step up. The weapon transmog I'm using is Worldbreaker. By far the most tedious of the Burning Crusade dungeon reps is the Keepers of Time. There are only 2 dungeons rather than 3 for this hub, and they are very RP heavy. In the grand scheme it's only 30 minutes, but still, it's out of the way in the Caverns of Time and limited quests available make it just a slog. The Timewalking event really has been helpful with the plus 50% rep rewards though. So I'll be happy to get this one off the list of my daily chore list and replace it with something else once we do hit Exalted. As we were in the Caverns of Time anyway, I checked off the Battle for Mount Hyjal from the list. I'm missing the T6 Helm and Glove token for both Paladin and Warrior, my 2 current classes which I need for the set achievement. But of course he dropped the Protector token this week for Rogue Mage and Druid, which I already have 2 of. Third tune is definitely going to be a Druid, heard it here first. Tauren with Herbalism and Alchemy I'm thinking. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. A long way to go to 10,000 collection points still. Next up in my sights was the final 2 zones in Outland, Netherstorm and then Shadowmoon Valley. They are by far and away the biggest undertaking in terms of zone quests we've seen in the challenge. In fact, I think they'll likely be some of the most time-consuming zones we ever hit until we get to current content, not affected by level scaling. Netherstorm was first up and clocked in at a whopping 4 hours and 8 minutes. Yes, I did meander a bit on some pet battles for maybe 15 minutes and had a trip or two to clear bags in Sha'tari City also. There were definitely some big highlights. The Consortium, Stormspire, Old Bessie the Undead Cow, and the story and lore behind the Mana Forges were standouts also. Let's get it done. 4 hours squished in to 2 minutes. Highlights of the marathon included: catching a rare mouse was my first capture of the zone and popped the Outland Tamer achievement for capturing a pet in each of the Outland zones. There were 2 pets we were missing from the zone, so I set out early to capture them, starting with an uncommon Nether Roach. In my search for the second, I came across an uncommon cat, which I also picked up to replace the poor quality version we had before. Will I ever use a cat in a pet battle? Nope. But it offends my senses seeing grey and white quality pets, so I replace them when I can. Now we only have 4 pets which are not at least uncommon. Eventually we got an uncommon fledgling Nether Ray, the final pet we needed for the Outland Safari achievement for capturing every battle pet in the expansion. This is our first Safari achievement, as in the vanilla zones they also include the Cataclysm zone pets which were gated from due to the challenge. Completing the quest back to the chief gave us the X-52 rocket helm toy, which blows you up. Very goblin-esque. Dealer Rashad in Stormspire had 4 pets we didn't have in the collection and we picked them up. The brown rabbit, red moth, blue dragon hawk hatchling, and finally the mana wormling. There are a ton of Consortium quests in the zone, and thanks to our running of mana tombs over the last week, it gave us a big head start, as we hit Exalted with the faction during the zone questing to earn the Chief Exalted Officer achievement. As part of our many trips back to Sha'tari for quests in the zone, I took a pit stop and bought enough arcane tombs to hit Exalted with the Scryers. They were going for only 30 silver each and was a good investment for not a lot of gold to get another rep to Exalted. This also awarded the Sha'tari Divided achievement. One of the final quests in the zone took us to Sokrathar's Seat, which was also the final sub-zone we needed for the Explore Netherstorm achievement. For one of the zone quests, we had to make a trip to the Mechanar, and defeating Mechanolord Capacitus also allowed us to hit Exalted with Sha'tari, which in turn was our 30th reputation to Exalted. Finally, after 4 long hours, the final turn-in to Voronthal the Seer in Sha'tari of all places popped the Into the Nether achievement for completing all quests in Netherstorm.
Keep your wits about you.
Phew, okay, so it was time to take a break and change gears a bit. Thanks to this comment, I looked into the Timewalking vendor for the cooking daily. As they said, for just 25 Time Warp badges, you could buy the Cooking Daily bag. Now, I do want to save badges for mounts, pets, and toys, but this proved to be pretty enticing, so I decided to give it a whirl, and after 7 bags, I got the spicy hot talbuk recipe, and then after 9 total bags, the skullfish soup recipe, the last one we needed for the meta. Some of the raw materials needed to craft all were going for over 500 gold, so I decided to stick a pin in it and I'll farm them myself later. We had hit Exalted with so many dungeon reputations, so I did the rounds to pick up the missing tabards and transmog they may have unlocked, starting with Scryers,
We will have justice.
and then Lower City. The latter's tabard gave us the 30 tabard achievement. This is actually the final tabard achievement, as Blizzard never added one for a higher number, which is a shame as there's so many more tabards unlocked as the expansions go on. Finally, we went and picked up the Sha'tari tabard and transmog to catch up completely on all the reps which we had hit Exalted with. Many of these dungeon reps have useful profession patterns for leveling, but they're not warband reputation, which means we're going to have to farm them again on some alts, which is somewhat of a drag, but it is pretty quick. A Timewalking Mana Tombs saw max spy hit 55 and then 56, and then thanks to the Outland pet dailies on the day, 57, followed by 58. I ran back the Timewalking Black Temple event for Spy for an additional swath of badges before running my Winterspring Cub through his paces again for his 7th Whisker. Luckily, the fishing daily had reset and gave us crocolisks in the city again, so a quick detour to Orgrimmar to pick up the little croc gave us the turn-in item. And the luck gods were on our side again, as not only did we get another pet, but it was also one of the ones we were missing. We now have 2 of the 4 baby croc pets, Chuck and Toothy. 2 more to go. The next day's Ogrelak quest saw us hit Exalted with the Sha'tari Skyguard to pop the Flying High over Skedis achievement. This of course meant it was mount time once more. The Skyguard gates 5 awesome Nether Ray mounts, and after a short flight back to Skedis we had all 5 in our bags. In addition, Exalted also gave us the Nether Ray Fry battle pet. Let's learn some mounts. Princess Delrissa was the lucky boss to give me the rep needed to hit Exalted with Shattered Sun Offensive and the You're So Offensive achievement. I was in a grindy mood and decided to spend an hour multitasking in Winterspring. Having so many projects on the go, it's always a gold standard if you can string many together at once. That way it makes you feel that you're getting the most of your playtime and you get to advance the ball in all areas. This is what we were working on. The battle pet Azure Whelpling has a tiny chance to drop from any mob in the zone. Any kill is good, but it's a 1 in 5,000 odds. We need 506 lumber to craft all decor items from all professions from vanilla content. Yes, we only have 1 alt at the moment, but as we're planning for the future, I like to gather it all and have it sit in the war bank and out of the way. Allbeast leggings are also a great transmog item which I'd like to pick up another pair of to sell. We need 50 arcane crystals for sulfurous to make the legendary hammer of Ragnaros. We also will need another 100 for Thunder Fury one day when the bindings drop, and we need a bunch for decor crafts. We also have a bunch of other items the mobs in the zone drop which are on our bolo list for crafting, such as Essence of Undeath. So this 1 hour checked off a lot in this list. No, the pet didn't drop, but we did manage over 500 mob kills and spent another hour of farming for the pet, which is another 10k to our budget for when we get fed up and if we want to buy it off the auction house. Keela Grimtotem was the final trainer we needed to earn the Aquatic Battler of Kalimdor, which in turn awarded the Family Pet Battler of Kalimdor achievement and the Moondarter non-combat pet. This was a long time in coming. When we started this challenge, we had no pets, no level 25s to boost ourselves, and we managed to level the 30 plus pets needed, 3 for each family at least to 25 to earn this achievement. Some have commented that so much of my challenge have been pet battles, and it's the truth. This has taken up a lot of my time, not just in thought but also in travel all around Kalimdor every day for over a month. But this achievement being earned now means I can focus on doing the same for Eastern Kingdoms and saying goodbye to all my trainer friends here in Kalimdor, except Trixie of course, as I'll keep farming her for the bag each day. Eastern Kingdoms will be just 10 days to complete though, because we have all the family teams leveled and ready to go. I finally decided to check off the Nat Pagal quest, Nat Pagal Angler Extreme, which has you travel around the world to catch 4 rare fish and awards a great fishing pole. I got the 2 fish from Kalimdor out of the way, the Feralus Ahi and the Sartheris Striker. We'll circle back and finish the rest in the future, but feels good to add it to the working quest list so ATT stops screaming at me. There was one zone left in Outland to tackle, and that was Shadowmoon Valley. I thought Netherstorm was bad with the running around. Then I got a refresher course from Shadowmoon on the meaning of meandering. It took me over 3.5 hours, but that's only because I had already caught all the pets I needed from the zone and had done the Netherwing ledge in the prior episode when I hit Exalted with the Netherwing. There were 5 dungeon runs, multiple trips to Nagrand, Sha'tari, Netherstorm. These zones in the past would award their quest achievements from doing a certain number of quests, so it was possible to skip the dungeon quests and still get the zone completion originally, and in Classic for that matter. This is not the case here, unfortunately. It wasn't all bad, and there was some entertaining quest lines, but overall it was a slog, and I was happy to be done with it. Let's get her done. Highlights from the zone include the Explore Shadowmoon Valley achievement was the final we needed for Outland Explorer. That awarded a hefty 35 total achievement points. While running the Steam Vaults for one of the required quest chains, I got the Hammer of Righteous Might pattern to drop. Unsure on if I'll try and sell it or learn it, but still, anyways, it's always cool to see a 100k plus drop item. Finally, after the long grind, the Shadow of the Betrayer achievement and Loremaster of Outland was earned. With this milestone, we've now done all quests available to us as part of the challenge, which frees up a ton of time to focus on other grinds, such as rare pet farming, leveling, blacksmithing and engineering, and gathering lumber and other materials needed for decor. With that being said, it's a little daunting as we still are a long ways off of the 10,000 points, and we now have got every mount except for 3 from Outland and 1 from the old world, almost all wild pets, and also there's only about 10 ultra rare pets still outstanding. That means we need to get creative and generate as many collection points as we can with what's available to us. I look forward to the challenge. And with that being said, that's where we're going to end this episode. We finish at 4,455 achievement points, a gain of 190 over last episode's 4,265. That brings us to 485 total achievements out of a total of 5,864. A gain of 21 on the episode and pushing us over the 8% complete mark. We added 6 new mounts in the Raven Lord and the Skyguard Nether Rays, bringing our total to 132. For pets, our final tally is 252, a gain of 11, while toys went up 1 to 47. Now for the gold. 9,756 gold looted, plus 19,124 gold from quest rewards. Cha-ching time, let's see what the mailbox is cooking. Standout items include a High Chief's crown for 1,000 gold, an unyielding chain vest for 1,500, a bunch more shadow dust, and another High Chief's crown went for over 3,000 gold. Let's get it all into our bags. Looking at TSM, our total revenue from vendors and the auction house is 136,390. Time for the spy quickly. He had a further 4,401 gold total to add to the pot, which gives us a grand total of 169,672 gold. Good enough for 339 total collection score for gold, a rise of 53 since last time. 8,425 collection score, that's 401 more since last episode's 8,024. The grind is definitely on, and we're going to have to look in every corner for that last 1,575 collection score we need. 1 point at a time, 1 goal at a time, 1 expansion at a time. Happy collecting, everyone. I'll see you in our next video.